New Minnesota Vikings general manager Kwesi Adofo-Mensah has been busy. He's been working the phones. He's like dialing up people, what's up? And he's been doing some trades. Now, the big one was the Lions trade. All right, so the Vikings have traded in division twice, which is something you generally don't do, as well as they moved back up in the second round to secure cornerback Andrew Booth. So we'll get into all the trades. We'll take a look at what a sample of the old school charts say versus some of the new school charts say. But recap of the trades real quick. So the Vikings were at 12. Chilling. Potentially going to take, I don't know, Kyle Hamilton, Jameson Williams, and then the Lions. Bow God, that's the Lions music. So the Vikings gave up 12 and 46. I mean, 46 is kind of a big deal. And then the Lions moved up from 32, 34, and 66. So the Vikings got a gaggle of picks. And looking at the trade charts, So for the new school, we went with the Spiel Fitzgerald, whatever. Over the cap, they do a great trade chart, which is in line with the modern NFL and the valuation and analytics, and etc. The old school one is the Jimmy Johnson one. Now, the Jimmy Johnson one is the one where a lot of Vikings fans got upset because the Vikings on the old Jimmy Johnson trade chart got smoked, right? But that's 30 years old. It doesn't take into account the modern NFL. It's whatever. So in the Vikings-Lions trade, 12 and 46 totaled 2,801 points on Spiel Fitz. On the Lions side, 32, 34, 66 totaled 33, 34. That's what the Vikings got. So the Vikings won this trade in a landslide, plus 533. New school and old school, the Vikings lost by 230. Just sort of is what it is there. Second trade was the Packers. So the Vikings were on the clock at 34, the pick that they got from the Lions. And the Greasy, Grimy Green Bay Packers, flush with an extra second-round pick. They moved up 53 and 59 to get Christian Watson, the physical freak wide receiver from North Dakota State, who we'll have to deal with twice a year, just like Jameson Williams. But no problem, because we got Andrew Booth Jr., man. Shoot. So on this one, mainly a lot of people were pissed off because it's like, hey, you're trading in division. You're potentially helping the Packers. We got to play Christian Watson twice a year. But to that, I say the Vikings absolutely smoked the Packers. So Kwesi worked his magic. He got two second-round picks out of the deal, and then the Vikings gave up 34. So it's sort of whatever at this stage. And the Vikings won this trade by the new metrics by 719, and they even won it on the Jimmy Johnson trade chart, who doesn't like anything that the Vikings do. I mean, the Vikings are cursing the Jimmy Johnson trade chart because he probably used his trade chart to work over Mike Lynn back in the day for the Herschel Walker trade. But even on that one, the Vikings won. So I don't know why people were pissing and moaning about that one, because old school, new school, I'm sure if you went with the PFF metrics, I'm sure if you went with the ESPN metrics, the Vikings probably won that trade as well. So whatever. And then the third trade was the Vikings and the Colts. So the Colts gave up, the Vikings moved back up to 42 to take Andrew Booth Jr. They also got back in the fourth round with 122, and they gave up one of the second round picks from the Packers, 53, 77, their original third round pick in the third, as well as 192, one of their 3 sixth round picks. So on that trade chart, so the Colts won that one by 452 by the new school metrics, and even on the Jimmy Johnson one, the Colts won it slightly by 58 points. But for me, you have to look at it in context. So the Vikings moved back up for Andrew Booth Jr., who is a guy that they would have taken at 34, but they were able to move down, get some more trade capital, etc. The Vikings had 2 third-round picks. They had 66 and 77, so they gave one up. They had 3 sixth-round picks, so they gave up the last one at 192. So the Vikings gave up their ass-end third and their ass-end sixth to be able to move back up, and they got back in the fourth round. So even though in a vacuum they took slightly the worst of it in this spot, not even as bad as the Lions took it in the initial trade from 12 in the Spiel Fitz metrics, but out of the vacuum, I feel perfectly fine with it. And the Vikings, I love what they've done. I love what they've done with the play. So they're back in the fourth round for tomorrow. They got 5 picks total, 1 fourth, 1 fifth, 2 sixths remaining, and a 7th. But F those picks. I mean, package them up. Let's have 2 fourth-round picks and let's go to the bye. But Lewis Seen at 32, Andrew Booth Jr. at 42, 2 extreme values. I love that they're going to cinch up the secondary. And then at 59, Ed Ingram, great pass protector, going to come in and compete on the interior. Wouldn't shock me at all if he ends up securing one of the starting guard spots. And then you have Brian Asamoah, the heat-seeking missile at 66. Now, you could say, well, the Vikings overdrafted Ingram and Asamoah, but specifically what they're going to be asked to do. Ingram, pass protection, Asamoah, special teams, and then eventually take over as the inside linebacker in the Vikings 3-4, one of the inside linebackers. I think that they're perfectly suited for what the Vikings specifically want them to do. Again, always focus on what the player can do versus what they can't do. And even though there was larger, flashier names still on board for the Vikings, they've obviously done their diligence, they obviously done their research, and they feel like this player, whether it's Sean Booth, Ingram, or Asamoah, fits in better with what they want to do with this team. So I'm giving Kwesi a lot of credit here. And overall, like, even though there's a lot of piss and moaning about trading, I think a lot of it is you don't want to give up picks. You don't want to do this. It's like, hey, we need to trade down. Not for that. Okay. Even though I do side more with the new age metrics. I think that they take into account more of what's going on and the valuations of the modern NFL. And plus, there's more information available from past drafts and current drafts. I mean, Jimmy Johnson did up his chart on the back of a napkin, man. He's like, hey, how am I gonna F the Vikings on this one? 600 points. So, again, New School says that the Vikings won the Lions trade. They smoked the Packers in the Packers trade, just absolutely destroyed them. Just smoked. Just burned to rubble, salted to earth, so nothing will grow again. And then the Vikings lost the Colts trade. But we went through the context where they moved up for Booth Jr. They got back in the fourth. They gave up a third, which they had 2, and they gave up a 6 where they had 3. So I'm perfectly fine taking slightly the worst of it in that spot. But overall, yeah, I'm pretty happy with how the Vikings trades worked out. I wasn't necessarily happy. I was with you guys when they moved on from 12 to 32 because that's a big time drop. But after seeing things in the cold light of day, as well as seeing who the Vikings all got through all the various movement, as well as getting back in the fourth, I'm happy as a clam, baby. Well, let's go. But your thoughts are thoughts. What the charts say. Who charted about the Vikings' various draft day trades? Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But until next time, Skull Production Value.